right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Tony. Good to see you after so long.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? This is episode 52, and what's kind of weird is I've always thought about like an ending to like the podcast, because we watch podcasts and people end up eventually something in their life changes, or they like move on to create like a new podcast. And I thought 52 would be a great number to kind of do that, like either rebrand it or like not necessarily move on completely, but do something else. But 52 is a good number. Welcome back. 51 was 2.5 years ago now, and it was, which is crazy to say, but we'll catch up. We'll catch up, and then I don't know, figure out what to talk about. But 51 was a good episode. Had a lot of views and stuff, and then after that, I basically started another podcast, and we have 2 seasons of it. And we have an actual studio, so we built an actual studio, cameras, lighting, a set, all the equipment. It's just insane. It's insane, the amount of work and stuff we put into it. But yeah, that's what I've been doing over the last 2 years. I've just been doing an actual in-person podcast in the studio, and yeah. What's you catch me up on your last 2 years?
Oh goodness, what haven't I been up to? That's the better question. Our subscribers are going to be like, the Senate Podcast. That's a name I've not heard in a long time.
That's so true.
I mean, if you remember our episodes hyper specifically, because your brain works in an idiosyncratic way like mine does, you'll remember, like 2024, I mentioned that I was doing a play for the first time, and then that's just basically been my life. Like, I fell into it by accident. I was like in 2022, 2023, I'm like, I've like found a local acting class, and I'm like,
I do remember.
I want to be a voice actor and also do shows and movies.
Well, we had talked about it because we've talked here and there over the last 2 years since we stopped doing it and stuff, and just to catch up and whatnot. But I'm wondering how that went with all that.
Yeah. So I was like, well, the easiest way to break into acting is to try to do a play in a local theater near you. But I'm like, the thought of like doing something that's running live all continuously and there's room for error was really daunting to me. So I'm like, I'll just do like 1 or 2 plays just to say that I did them and I had the experience. Well, here I am. I can't stop doing theater stuff. It's been mainly with Reading community players. I just accidentally doxed myself. So find me if you want. I am right here. But I've also done a few things with other groups. Right now, I'm in a musical for the first time called Ride the Cyclone. It's a well-known show among a certain group of people. Like, they really loved it. It's weird. It's tragic. It's sad. It's happy. It's uplifting. It makes you want to cliff dive, if you know what I mean. Hashtag no parachute. I'm just kidding. I'm going to get this podcast flag. But I'm playing a character called Visha Vachinsky, aka Bad Egg, on YouTube. He's from Ukraine and he's a rapper. So my first musical number is a rap song, and then my second one is essentially a love ballad. So that's interesting. I've been doing better than I thought, because I'm like, I have to memorize choreography. Oh God. But it's been tough, but not like impossible. And just a one-of-a-kind thing. And then I'm doing a live murder mystery with this group in a mall in Lebanon. I did one with them last year. So we have a few rehearsals for that coming up in April. So I'm just constantly, I just did a play festival in Harrisburg, where it's basically you and a few other groups of people put together like a bunch of small plays in 24 hours. So I got a hotel, and I'm like, let's see what happens. So yeah, I've just been doing that, trying to write here and there. I've had an idea.
Yeah, wow, you're reminding me. I can't believe it's been so long. There's so much.
I've had an idea for a solo episode that I want to do that I think will be fun, but ask me when I'll have the time to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. it's been so hard doing like I said, main thing I've been working on is, well, two things really, but one thing is the podcast, and it's just, dude, it's why I haven't had time to do anything, because if in my free time I do the podcast like in person and stuff like that, and the programming and the editing takes forever, and it's just so time consuming. Also, as you could see, all
Hey,
the toys and stuff behind me, having a baby in that time too took up so much time. So yeah, so he's my
is
son
there,
is clapping. I actually there is. I don't know how to get to it,
yeah,
like how
I
you could get to
forgot
it, but
what I
there is a way
did.
to do it. But he's a year and 3 months now, so it's he
My
wasn't born
God.
last time
Wow.
we did this, but
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's just we've been busy, been very busy. But yeah, so wow, 2 years. Speaking of writing, I wrote two reviews for a magazine, and it got
Yeah,
published
yeah.
in a magazine. Two reviews, one for Siphon Filter Darkmere, and then one for Siphon Filter Logan Shadow. So that was cool, reviewing PSP games and writing and getting it published. I got the physical copy somewhere around here, but yeah, that was cool. That was always on my bucket list of things to do in life, was write video game review and get it published. That was pretty cool. Pro PlayStation Magazine, RPM. Shout out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you got money.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. Actually, like I would have did it for free, no
Yeah, well,
problem,
yeah.
but like it was cool. Like I could say that I got paid for a review. Like that's super cool.
Yeah, that's something I like. I did a few I did like 2 TikTok videos recently crashing out about Life is Strange double exposure
Yeah,
because
I hear people are upset.
that game, I'm not even like a big fan of the like I played the first one like maybe last year and I liked it. I didn't think it was like great or anything, but I'm like, I can see why this hit people when it did and it has the fan base that it does. Even though some of them are
Yeah,
interesting, I'll be charitable and say that.
I
But
definitely heard a lot that
I got it. And
like,
dude, the
okay.
freaking I played that on my Christmas slash New Year's break when my job's under new management, so we don't work for the college that I work at anymore. But when we did, we had like a long Christmas break that like ran into New Year's. So I played Life is Strange Double Exposure and Silent Hill F. Two games that
I want to know how about
well, Silent Hill F was interesting, but I ultimately really did not like it. It was just frustrating. I felt like it focused too much on the combat, and the combat kind of blows, as a lot of people have talked about. They're like doing this thing now where they're like, why don't we make Silent Hill games that don't take place in Silent Hill? Because Silent Hill is more of a thing that can happen anywhere. And I'm
I
like,
don't know a
okay,
lot
cool,
about the
but that's
game,
stupid.
so yeah, sounds kind
And dude, Life is Strange Double Exposure, my God, what a disaster. The new one, I think it just came out yesterday and it felt like you ever see like a movie or something and it's like painfully clear that they're setting up for a sequel. And then that movie will actually explain the 20 million plot threads that they left unresolved. Yeah. I'm looking at you, J.J. Abrams, by the way. Hi. How's it going? I know you're a big fan.
of. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
It felt like J.J. Abrams wrote a Life is Strange game, genuinely. It was, and so I haven't been playing a ton of games, and unfortunately, two of the ones, and I'm on my second playthrough of Lost Records Bloom and Rage by Don't Nod, who used to do the Life is Strange games. As an experience, like a pure vibe experience with like getting attached to characters and stuff, I felt the same way about this game that I felt about the last season of Stranger Things.
Can we
From a
talk about that today?
character, from a character,
All
oh
right.
God,
I know what this episode will be now.
from a character standpoint, and an emotional standpoint, I loved it. From a plot standpoint, garbage. Garbage. There's so many things that it's clear that like if we make another game, we'll actually answer this. And if not, have fun speculating. Bye. And it's like, no, no. I don't mind like leaving things open ended and theorize. Dude, we're two of the biggest people that love to speculate and theorize about any kind of media that we watch, obviously. But there's a difference between that and not answering anything. So that's what that game did, but I can't help but love it because I'll say it this way. I'm obviously a 32-year-old man. That game made me feel like a 16-year-old girl. And if that sounds weird, yeah. But that's just how it made me feel. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna write some notes down. So later we'll talk about Stranger Things because I wanna think about that a little bit
Good.
longer.
I have no shortage of things to say.
Why?
I might
Where's my
crash
notes
out,
at?
honestly.
Okay.
And I'd like to think that I haven't really crashed out on the podcast that much in the past, except for when we were talking about Rise of Skywalker. I lost my mind on that
So
episode.
okay, perfect transition. So this podcast, the Senate podcast, like obviously very specific name. Like if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it,
Yeah.
you don't get it. But honestly, once we finished doing all the 9 movie retrospectives, I kind of felt like the goal of the podcast was accomplished. So not necessarily like, "Oh, okay, it's over," but like I think we always talked about like a rebranding of some sort. But like I think like our magnum, obviously we talked about our magnum opus was the episode 3 retrospective. Still to
Yeah.
this day, I think that's one of the best retrospectives that exists on episode 3. Is just phenomenal. But we did all the movies. Honestly, I think what would be cool is I did Ahsoka because I don't know if you watched it. You end up watching that?
No, I don't have the Disney Plus anymore, but I'll buy the show, like the
Yeah.
Blu-ray set or whatever, and
Well,
watch it.
you're doing Andor, and I'm about to start season 2, so maybe we can do an Andor retrospective, and then do Solo and Rogue One. I think that'd be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, because there's just so much that it's kind of good. We took a break because so much has happened. Did you end up playing any of the Jedi games like Jedi Survivor?
Not yet, because I've wanted to play Jedi Survivor at a time where I would just be able to just totally and fully jump into it, and that hasn't really happened. Instead, I've played 2 games that I didn't like, so, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
on my next extensive break, I will absolutely play it because it's been way too long and I still haven't played it yet.
So I want to talk about the games we've played over the last 2 years. Big games, like notable ones. I can start with an easy one for me is Expedition 33. You get a chance to play that?
Not yet.
Okay.
I wanted to play it during my break, and like I should have just bought that instead of.
Dude, okay. So Expedition 33 is up there one of my favorite games ever. Like I respect games that respect my time, and not necessarily that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean short games. Like I respected Assassin's Creed Shadows for respecting my time because I feel like even though I played 70 hours of it, like I beat the campaign in I think like 60 hours or whatever, it didn't feel like it was too much. It felt like there was enough for me to do in that whole time plus more. But then there's games like Expedition 33, which took me 30 hours to beat it. And obviously that's long for some, short for others, but I feel like like that was a very robust game that didn't take 60, 80, 100 hours to beat, and the story was amazing. So I would highly recommend it, bro. Like it's really good. On the story, I'm a big story person. Like I love good stories. If the story is fantastic and the gameplay is kind of mid, I can still play it. I can still enjoy it. But on the other hand, if the story is really bad and the gameplay is good, it won't keep me for very long. Like I might play a few hours and then just kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna move on. Especially if it's single player. Now if it's multiplayer, if I got a group of friends or something, like if it's Arc Raiders, which I've been into Arc Raiders heavy, me and a ton of people, and also Marvel Rivals. So like just multiplayer stuff. But in terms of single player, I brought up the Jedi games. So like Expedition 33 and then Jedi Survivor. I'll Jedi Survivor, it's fantastic. I don't want I think I saw people saying that like, okay, it's not as good as the first one, but I think it's much better. I think it's much better. So those are probably 2 I'd recommend. I can't remember if we talked about Horizon Forbidden West last time. I don't know if
I'm
that
sure
was
we've talked
over. I think
about
that was
it at some
2023, so
point.
maybe we did talk about it. But that one right there, another amazing RPG. Like I love that game. I'm trying to brainstorm some. One that you might not expect is Mario Kart World. So I was so against Mario Kart World. Okay. I was so against it. But what happened was I started looking at all the Mario Kart games and ranking them and ranking like the tracks and which one I enjoy more. Because Mario Kart's one of those games where it's like you can have fun playing it with a family, with a group of people online. Like it's just one of those fun games that anyone can play. So I was like, I need to experience Mario Kart World to have an opinion on it. Because I don't want to just think that I'm not going to like it and not have an opinion on it. So I played it and I fell in love with it. I think it's the best Mario Kart game. Dude, an open world Mario Kart game is so good. The open world's kind of bland, but dude, the gameplay is so good. This is one of those games that, like, how I was saying, like, I need a good story. This gameplay is so good. And obviously, like, there's no story to it. I don't care. It's just
Yeah.
that good. Yeah.
It could be
So
fun for them to do like a Mario Kart game in that style that's like Need for Speed, but with the Mario
yeah,
characters. That could be fun.
I think that would be a great like DLC or maybe like interstitial game where it's like
Yeah.
Mario Kart World, like, story expansion or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you're saying.
Yeah.
And maybe it's only 6 hours long, but that'd be cool. They kinda did that with the Sonic racing games, but it wasn't.
Really.
It wasn't it. So what games, catch me up. Were those
Well,
all were those all the games that you,
no,
like, were into?
actually, I remembered one that I'll save. So
Trying to look up some that.
I haven't like been writing down what I've been playing since I'd stopped being on the podcast forever ago. So if I randomly remember something, I'll just
Yeah, same. I'm trying to remember
abruptly
'cause
jump
I
it
didn't
out.
prepare.
But all right, so I'll be a little more specific about two I've mentioned. Silent Hill F. So it takes place in like 60s Japan, and it talks about like the main character is a girl named Rinko, I think. I'm not looking it up, whatever. And
Close enough.
it's basically about like it like talks about like how back in that time like young women were like in arranged marriages and it was like they were
That's
kind of
actually
losing
really
their
interesting.
innocence and stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. It's written by a guy who wrote the Higurashi visual novels, if you know what those are. They're kind of like
Yeah, I heard that that's
yeah,
who,
like I
like,
think
did the art or
like
whatever, but
sci-fi horror mystery. And this game, so spoiler alert, I think it sucks, but I beat it. So how much did I really dislike it? That's a good question. Obviously enough to beat it, but it's one of those like first of all, because it's written by a guy who does visual novels, there are multiple endings to the game, but unlike other Silent Hill games where it's like the ending is just you run through the story and there are small things that change and then your ending is ultimately different, but the overall journey is still basically the same. The other paths in this game literally have like entire story beats and cutscenes that are different and that expand things. That's cool if you really want to replay something, but like, first of all, I ain't playing this game twice, so I just watch the other stuff on YouTube. And it's like, I don't agree with hiding vital knowledge behind subsequent playthroughs. Like, I think that's stupid.
yeah.
Unless it is a visual novel, but those games aren't hard to beat. So, like, it's fine, and you could like speed through things that you've already read and stuff. But like in a horror survival game, you still have to deal with mechanics and stuff. It kind of has Souls-ish feeling combat. I didn't like it really. I learned to tolerate it.
I'm not a fan of Souls games. I know we had a whole episode on
Yeah.
that.
It had a few creepy moments though. Like if you played it, anyone watching the school level, creepy. What else was creepy? I don't know. That might have been it. And then I could do a whole episode on Life is Strange double exposure, but it felt like they made it for I don't know who, people that wanted Max back. I like Max, but good God, she needs to be in a game that actually has a well-written story. The gameplay was annoying. There's a gimmick where it's like she learns how to cross into like a parallel universe where spoilers if you actually care, Caleb. I know you don't.
For this
Or do
game.
you? I don't know.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, her friend soon after the intro is murdered in a weird way, which I actually thought was cool. It's again, J.J. Abrams created an interesting hook and a mystery that goes so off the rails. It's not even funny, and like not in a good way. There were like several points where I'm like, I was just yelling like, "Are you kidding me? Come on, that's what you're doing!" Like it just turns into absolute nonsense. But it felt like it was made by a committee of executives rather than people who actually wanted to create a product that was satisfying. There are some moments that I feel like people somewhere somehow some people working on this freaking game tried to do something, but it just
And you gotta
didn't work
respect.
because
Yeah, it's like you respect
they
it,
were
but it's
being
like it didn't work.
just crushed by all the other people that were like, you have to do this. And it's not even plenty of fans who like the Max and Chloe relationship from the first game. I didn't, but I could see why people do because it's interesting and has layers to it. They were unsatisfied because it kind of plays lip service to it, but it doesn't actually do anything with that. So that's why I'm like, I don't care about this franchise to the point where I'm gonna rush and play these games anymore. I'll I'll buy Reunion, which is what the new one's called, at half price. Just like I got double exposure in like 5 years. I'm good. Other than that,
So
well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, why you think if you need time to think, I thought of one.
No, I'm currently playing Super Mario RPG Remake.
Ooh, how's that?
It's fun. It's fun. I like the combat. It's pretty easy, but like there are a few boss battles where I'm like, whoa, I gotta actually pay attention. It's cool. I like the the strategy. Like it has this thing where like your shared team has a pool of I forget what it's called. It's like MP or something, and it's like every time you like block or do extra damage, it slowly fills up, and then you could do like a Toad assist move where like he brings you like a box and you jump and it's like a random power up that's like some kind of a buff. It's cool. I people, I mean, it's probably in comparison to other Mario games, but like people say that this one actually has a story that's something. And it is, but I'm not playing a Mario game for the story. I don't think anybody does that. But I mean, it's
Yeah,
cool because it's like a game that I feel like I could jump in and jump out of pretty casually. And I'm not going to be like, I forgot all these really, really important story beats that happen. It's like Mario has to rescue Peach. He meets people. Fun things happen. You know, it's cool. I like the freaking soundtrack's really good. I like that
that makes a big difference too.
it's a remake that changes up the graphics, but it still feels like if you've seen like old screenshots from that game, it still has that spirit to it while just having a modern graphical update. Whereas like some other studios would just make like a totally different game that feels modern. This doesn't feel modern at all, and
It's
that's a
good.
positive thing. Like it still
Yeah.
feels classic. Uh and then I played one really big game that I did manage to jump into because it just sucked my brain. I still have to play the end game stuff, but Control by
Okay.
Remedy Studios.
Are you excited for the new one?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
especially now that I played the base game, I don't really like the ending because it just feels like it just ends. And then I was like, oh, all right. But the Foundation DLC, which takes place after that, where I actually don't want to ruin that for you because I know you'll probably play it, but Jessie
Yeah,
accomplishes a certain
yeah.
thing, and the DLC takes place after she accomplished that thing. So I'm really intrigued. But dude, it's an open world game that takes place in one location, but like it's just this sprawling building with all these weird things. Like you find levels to it and there are characters you meet that are in charge of various sectors, and it's like weird sci-fi fantasy CP style stuff. A ton of side missions. I didn't play that many of them because I realized quickly that they didn't really give any rewards that I cared that much about. But I mean, it's still there if you want it. The combat's pretty good. I don't like it has like you find like the various mods like for your weapon, for yourself, like along like a larger health bar, or like a bigger pull for your telekinetic abilities, or like you take less damage or whatever. And then the weapon mods are like a scope for certain guns, shorter reload time, that kind of thing. But I feel like that aspect was tacked on by some stupid executive that was like, hey, kids love loot box shooters.
Yeah.
So you should probably have that in your action semi RPG psychological horror sci-fi game. And it's like, no, that doesn't belong
I
there.
love the
What are you
premise of
doing?
it. I'll probably play it through this year before the new one comes out because I'm excited for the new one.
Yeah, I just got so like started playing it because I actually wanted to play through it, and I realized that I think like there were like a few days off that I just essentially played that game for like half the day. And then I'm like, I gotta go do something else right now. But yeah, I can't wait for the new one for sure. I will buy that at full price. And I don't say that about that many franchises. And soon enough, I want to play RE9. Oh, I played RE4 Remake.
I was gonna bring that up. I knew you
Had a
probably played
ton of
that.
fun.
Okay.
Everybody was right. Ada Wong's new voice actress sucks. I don't know if it's her fault or the direction, but considering everybody else gives a pretty good performance, but her, I hate to say it, but she might just be bad. I don't know.
I
Gonna play
downloaded
that
RE9
DLC.
last night, so I'll be right there with
This
you if you
I
start
put a
soon.
ton of time into RE4 Remake because it kind of creates side objectives like the original game, but kind of expanded. I don't really replay games, but I would replay these just to do like all new loadouts and upgrade all new weapons because there are a ton of weapons. And I like at like various points, I like found myself actually having to think like, do I want to keep specking out this pistol that I'm using, or do I want to buy this pistol that I use better? You know, so it a ton of replayability for sure. I like the story beats. I mean, Resident Evil for me isn't a franchise that I care about that much. Like, essentially, what happens is I'd play a Resident Evil game like maybe once or twice every year, have a lot of fun with it, and then I go about my life and I don't really think about it too much. But I mean, it's still a great time. It's cool that Capcom's not just remaking older ones and they're still making newer ones that continue the story and try interesting things. So I mean, yeah, man.
So right now, I'm gonna call this newer games that we highly recommend. So well, let's do our top 10. So I got 5 for you. So I marked down Control, Mario RPG Remake, RE4 Remake, and then what were the other two, or were those not in it?
I would recommend Lost Records Bloom Rage. It's a good game. I love the atmosphere, vibes, and the characters. I just don't like aspects of the story. But for me, sometimes the destination is I mean, the journey is more important than the destination. I don't even think if I fought really hard, maybe I could think of any others that I beat, but I'm drawing a blank. So that might be it.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool. Because I said a few. I'll review mine, and then I got two I wanna talk about, and then we can move on.
Okay.
So I said Expedition 33, Mario Kart World, Jedi Survivor, and then, bro, this one is a game with a huge caveat, so I gotta explain it. So the new Indiana Jones and the Gray Circle.
I kind of want to play that a little bit, like not
It's
that much.
it's a game where so I'll describe it to you. I won't spoil it, but it is a game where it's not a great game, but it's a great Indiana Jones game. So if you are a big Indiana Jones fan like me, you'll absolutely love the game because the story is incredible. I mean, the story is absolutely incredible. The characters are incredible. Like it actually feels like the real characters from the movies. But the gameplay is a little on the weaker side. It's very like elementary. Like it feels like the gameplay out of like a just an old school game. Like I enjoy it. I think the gameplay is fine, but the gameplay is something that loses everyone on this game. I like leaned into it and just loved it, but I was acting like Indiana Jones in the game, so I wasn't expecting anything crazy. It was very basic gameplay. But
Is
but
there like
that
stealth? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, okay.
there is stealth. No, there is stealth, which is my favorite part of the gameplay. I like the stealth gameplay. I didn't shoot weapons really at all. Like I didn't use any weapons except for the like melee weapons. So I used my fists. Like I just boxed people and used his whip a little bit, and then pick up random stuff. Like if I found a crowbar or something, I would use that. But it felt like a sandbox. And the one reason I loved it a lot was it was a hub world type of game. And if you notice, like all my picks on here, they're basically hub worlds. So Jedi Survivor, hub worlds, Expedition 33, hub worlds, Indiana Jones, hub worlds. I think it just really leans into a great balance of gameplay and story and like presentation when you have hub worlds because it's not too big, but it's not too small. So Indiana Jones Great Circle, I mean, just great. I could do a whole spoiler cast on that, but
How do you
yeah.
feel about it being in first person? Because I know that was kind of a sticking point with some people.
So originally I hated it. Well, originally before I played it, I hated it. I was like, why are they making it first person? I'm never gonna play this thing. Whatever. I'm over it. But they had a trial on PlayStation Plus, so I downloaded the trial and I was like, I'll give it 2 hours since it was a 2 hour time trial. And within the first 20 minutes, I was like, I'm in love. I bought it, beat the whole thing. Um, dude, it's incredible. Just incredible game.
And then how did I've only heard some of, obviously just from the trailers, Troy Baker's performance.
You
Sounds scarily like Harrison
dude,
Ford.
you can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable.
I don't know how I mean, there's some roles where it's like, yeah, that sounds like Troy Baker, and I'm fine with that. But then sometimes he does this thing where it's like, dude, I played Uncharted 4 in 2020. I still occasionally remember that he played Sam Drake in
Yeah.
Uncharted 4. I'm like, oh yeah, that was Troy. What the hell?
You know what we could do? We could do a whole episode on favorite Troy Baker characters
Yeah.
because that's how many
Yeah.
he has so many.
I mean, I'd say it would be nice if it was like somebody with less of a resume, because that would have been a good breakout role for them. But I mean,
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you
if you
on
want
that.
somebody who you feel could have that gravitas, Troy's probably one of the better picks, I'd say.
And then my very last one I want to talk about real quick is Hades 2 on the Switch 2
Mm.
because it is a game where another hub world type of game, but it takes story and gameplay and it does them both perfectly in my opinion. And its presentation is just phenomenal because the gameplay, if you ever played a game like Hades, isometric, roguelite, it's great gameplay. I'm not going to describe all of its aspects, but it's just great gameplay and the story. If you're into any type of like story like that with like Greek mythology type stuff, it is very interesting. It's cool getting to see the interactions between the different gods and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's really interesting.
Yeah. I played a fair bit of Hades 1. I have a problem, Caleb. I like Hades a lot, but the roguelike formula and my ADD brain, even though not every run is the same, it's still, I can't do that many runs before I kind of get tired of it, which sucks because I really like that game, but it's like,
Yeah, I got to
that's
take
my
breaks.
problem with
So
roguelikes, because like I've tried to play a few other roguelikes and I feel the same way, where it's like, so I could start from zero and try to get past where I was, or I could just play something else.
well, that's what happened in Returnal. So in Returnal, I couldn't do it, man. Like I lost interest so quick, even though the gameplay was amazing. But I just lost interest. But with Hades on the Switch 2, it's so easy to pick up and put down because
Yeah.
you can play portable if you want, and the gameplay is just so smooth. It's addicting. Like you said, I kind of got to take a break, walk away for a little bit, maybe take a few days, play something else, and then go back to it.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll make Hades a game where I don't give myself like a time limit
Yeah.
to beat it. That might make it better. Like, I want to play something, but I'm kind of tired because I'm focusing on this. I'll just play. If I
Well,
treat it that
so
way, maybe it'll be easier to play.
and this game is very expansive because in the first game, you're starting at the bottom and working your way up. In this game, you're actually starting in the middle and you're working your way down. But once you do that and beat the game, then you can start working your way up to the
Mm.
gods. So like instead of working your way from the underworld to the surface, you start on the surface, you make your way down to the underworld, and then when you beat the game or whatever, then you make your way up to the gods. So it's like an
Ah,
after game, but
cool.
it's almost like a Hades 3. Like, you know what I mean? And it's a
Interesting.
different context, different style. Like it's very interesting. Very interesting. Highly recommend that. All right,
So
so
did you want to do a quick segment talking about movies or
yeah, so I think it's cool we caught up on some games and stuff and whatnot. If there's any others, just if any other games you can think about, we could talk about it
yeah.
real quick. But I'm looking through like my history, and I'm playing Ghost of Yotai, but it's not grabbing me like the first game, Ghost of Tsushima. It's really not. The gameplay is great, but it's just not grabbing me like the first one. I'm about to start playing RE9, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, man. I'm just those are really the big games right there. I think that kind of hit it for me. Games I didn't really expect.
Yeah, I'm surprised you had time to play that many.
Well, on paternity leave, I get 6 weeks, so
Oh, there you go.
there you go. Yeah, so that was kind of it. Like I really haven't played much more than that.